So I just figured out the fastest way to get all of the foil skins in Fortnite, which I'll be showing you all today. Now starting off, we have the Thor skin, where you must hit level 105 for the silver foil, 145 for the gold foil, then level 185 for the holo foil. Then after that, we have Jennifer Walters. We must hit level 110 for the silver foil, then level 150 for the gold foil, and finally level 190 for the holo foil. And then next up, we have Groot. We must hit level 115 for the silver foil, level 155 for the gold foil, and then finally level 195 for the holo foil. And then following of the Storm skin, which is totally not named after myself, level 125 for the silver foil, level 160 for the gold foil, and finally level 200 for the holo foil. And then after that, we have Dr. Doom, where you must hit level 125 for the silver foil, level 165 for the gold foil, and then finally a whopping level 205 for the holo foil. Now don't worry, we're almost done. There are indeed a lot of skins for the foils. But if you are new here and want to learn how to level up fast in Fortnite, win in Fortnite, and improve at all sorts of Fortnite things, be sure to subscribe with notifications so you don't miss out on anything. I'm trying to get to my goal of 50,000, and the far majority of you actually aren't subscribed. And if you all did subscribe, we could actually hit it right now. So I mean, you know, please subscribe. I'd appreciate it a lot. So next up, we have the Mystique, where we must hit level 130 for the silver foil, then level 170 for the gold foil, and then finally level 210 for the holo foil. And then after that, we have the one and the only Tony Stark skin. We must hit level 135 for the silver foil, level 175 for the gold foil, and then finally level 215 for the holo foil. Wow, I am saying foil a lot right now. So finally, we have the Wolverine skin, where you must hit an insane level 140 only to get the silver foil, then after that, level 185 for the gold foil, and then finally, a whopping level 220 to get the holo foil. Now, I know that is a lot of info. Just know to get all the foils, you must hit level 220, which takes just over 17 million XP. Yeah, that may sound like a lot, which kind of is, but don't worry, I'll cover how to get all the XP really quickly and really easily from one of the most overpowered strategies in the game that all starts by going into a game of Team Rumble. Alright, now, so for this strat, you're going to want to land over here at the orchard, over by this little farm over here. And that's because if we go over land, you can see there are quite a lot of cabbages. Now, if we just go over here and pick up these forest items, you can quickly see we are getting a lot of XP for this. There are a ton of cabbages at this farm. First 10 seconds, we already have a solid 3,000 XP. You guys have no idea how ridiculous this is. But of course, keep in mind, this is only the very start of the route. Like, you may think, oh wow, cabbage farms, okay, I'm gonna go into a game now. No, there are a lot of cabbage farms around the map. So you wanna get all these cabbage farms. Then after that, you haven't even started on the best way for leveling up. You get 17 million XP. So of course, be sure to stick around. So after you've collected that cabbage farm, you got quite a bit of XP, about 30 cabbages. That isn't too bad. We're gonna actually head over here to this little orchard part over here. In terms of where we landed the orchard, we actually landed right over here at this little farm, right up here. If we actually head to these trees over here, you can see there are apples laying around. Now, don't get me wrong, these apples are pretty nice for XP, but compared to the cabbages, there definitely aren't as many apples. But it's definitely worth spending 30 seconds to a minute just seeing if there are any apples laying around that you might want to pick up for yourself. Alright, there we go. We've got a solid about 10-ish apples, 11-ish apples. It's not bad. I'm sure there are more, but it's not worth our time looking around for them all. So then after that, we're going to actually head right back over here. There is another cabbage farm just sitting around. We jump right over here. There are a ton of cabbages. So we're going to walk around, collect all these cabbages, guys. Every game you want to collect as many cabbages as possible because they give you a lot of XP and there are a lot of cabbages. It's definitely a solid way to start off every game of Team Rumble. Just go around, collect 100 or so cabbages, and you can get quite a lot of XP. Battle Pass level 13, just like that. Now, guys, I know I'm not Battle Pass 100 or anything. That's because I just don't have time. I've been making videos for you all this season. I actually haven't played at all when I'm not recording. That's only why I'm Battle Pass level 13. But I've leveled up at least like 2 levels just from the 2 games I've spent recording this video so far. Alright, so then after that, there are apples right over here. Go over and pick a couple more at this little part of the orchard. Once again, there aren't that many apples. There are also fireflies, which are also pretty good for XP, just like the cabbages. You may notice our inventory is getting a little bit full, so we're going to want to throw away some of the fireflies, cabbages, maybe some of the apples. But make sure you at least have a couple in your inventory for in case a storm comes. You don't want to waste your time with the storm. Now, okay, guys, I know there are a lot of cabbages here, and there are a lot of apples here, but as I said, these cabbages, they're nothing. These cabbages, there's barely any cabbages here compared to the next cabbage farm we're heading over to now. So, of course, just build up over at the orchard. Thankfully, we have glider redeployment and Team Rumble making transportation really easily. We're gonna actually go over and fly over towards Frenzy Farm. So starting off in Frenzy Farm, right over here, we're going to head to this like nice little farming area, this nice little house. Over here, there's this nice little field. We actually go to the side, just like this. We can see just by these like nice little fences and stuff like that, there are a couple of cabbages just sitting around, not too bad. Grab an extra couple thousand XP pretty easily just like that. But then if we actually head up here, this is where it gets pretty ridiculous, guys. We're going to head over to this farm, right over here. This is only the first patch of cabbages out of several of them, but we have one. Look at all these cabbages just sitting around over here. Of course, definitely be sure to consume, your forge items in case the storm comes. You get a punch card for that. As you can see, you don't really get any XP for it, but it's definitely worthwhile to stay alive so you can get more cabbages. Because keep in mind, once you collect all these cabbages, you can just go into another game, and there are even more cabbages just like that. So you can collect cabbages repeatedly over and over and over again. Okay, we're actually full on cabbages. That's surprising. But yeah, you can collect cabbages over and over again. There's no limit to how many times you can do this. So definitely be sure to collect as many cabbages as possible in each game you play. Okay, so then after that, we're going to head right over here. There are even more cabbages just sitting around on this nice little farm area just like this. Hey guys, it's Storm here, and while editing the video, I actually remembered another, possibly even better way of getting XP than the cabbages. Yes, you heard me right. You got all the cabbages in the game. That's great. No, there's actually another way to get even more XP. And as you can tell, probably from these corn things over here, it's through corn. Now, in the game team rumble, you get 450 materials. That is pretty good. With that, you want to go through over here, these big fields, and you want to place these. This one's not the best because it's not the most dense, but you want to place these ramps out. Then in between each of your pyramids, you can find corn, and you'll get plenty of XP from collecting that corn. Now, this wasn't the best example over here because it wasn't the most dense cornfield, but there are actually plenty of cornfields here, so you could do this for a solid 5-10 minutes and get yourself quite a lot of XP. All right, here's a better example, and after this, I'll show you guys exactly where all these cornfields are, so you can, of course, do this yourself. Anyway, going over here, we can see our pyramids. We're using quite a bit of materials pretty quickly. Really easily, we can go ahead and we can destroy pretty much this entire cornfield. It's kind of brutal. We missed a couple of them. You can always use your pickaxe if that happens to you. But as you can see, each of them drops a fair amount of corn. And then if we just walk down this area, okay, we missed a piece over there. We can go through the creases between each of these pyramids. And as you can see, there's actually quite a fair amount of corn over here. They do get, kind of stuck under these pyramids, so you do have to be a little bit careful of that. Obviously, it's not as easy as the cabbages. This is the kind of thing they might want to do just for a couple of minutes after you've collected all the cabbages if you want to continue on maximizing the amount of XP that you have. Part of what makes this part of it so great is that corn is no rare item. There's actually more corn than there is cabbages, and that is because we have one cornfield right over here. Then over here, we kind of have already destroyed half of it. There's another cornfield right over here with plenty of corn. But after you've looted this entire cornfield, you may need to grab some more mats and trees and stuff to be able to do that. If we head forwards, you can see there's another pretty big cornfield just sitting right over here. Then another one right over here. Then after all of that, by our cabbages, you can see there's one more cornfield just sitting right over here. So guys, after you've looted all the cabbages, it's definitely a good idea to try and grab some corn before, of course, you get killed by the storm. Oh yeah, and after all our frenzy farm, if you want to do some extra credit or something like that to get even more XP, yeah, I know it's ridiculous, we can actually head over to this area me and my friends called the cult, because there are usually a couple of rocks that look kind of like a cult, to be honest. I don't know. Definitely good for grabbing this chest for XP, but you can actually see there are plenty of mushrooms that spawn around here, just like the apples from before. They aren't as common as, the cabbages or anything, but definitely be sure to grab these mushrooms, because as you can see, definitely adds up to an extra couple thousand XP, which, don't get me wrong, after a couple games, only from an extra minute or so of work, definitely adds up. Anyway, you may be thinking, that's great and all, time to go do this myself in a game, but no, don't do this yourself in a game just yet, because you'll be wasting time. There is still even more you can do in this game to maximize the amount of XP you have. You've already gotten probably 10, 15, 20,000 XP in a game, a ridiculous amount in the first couple of minutes, but you can still get even more XP, so don't click off until the very end. Alright, so I'm lagging a little bit right now, but if we actually go over here in the air, hit escape, and go to our challenges, you can see over here we have our quick challenges, just like this harvest metal, search supply drop, search ammo box, explosive weapon eliminations, assault rifle eliminations. Those are all really easy. We could actually probably do that right now in the storm circle. Now, why do I say complete each of your quick challenges? Because you get 10,000 XP per challenge you complete. There are 5 challenges you get every single day, and now that's insane. You get 50,000 XP in this game on top of all that cabbages for 1 game a day, which is actually pretty good. So make sure you're playing at least 1 game of Team Rumble 15 minutes every single day, because you do not want to miss out on that XP. So as you can see right over here of a supply drop, we're going to search. I kind of stole it from my teammate. In the upper left hand corner, we completed the quick challenge, get an extra 10,000 XP, and actually leveled up again. Yeah, I know I'm actually in a different game than the other one before. I just thought it'd be a good idea to show you an example of completing the quick challenges. But it gets even better, because after we complete all these quick challenges, we actually get 5 more quick challenges that give you 1,000 XP each. Then we can do each of those challenges per game, giving us an extra 5,000 XP per game. So be sure to complete as many quick challenges as you can in every single game that you play. But we are still not done yet. There is still an even better way of getting XP in this Team Rumble game, and that is actually through completing your punch cards. Now, you actually can't look at your punch cards when in the game, so I'll throw some images and video on screen now, but there are 55 punch cards in the season, and each of those punch cards, you can do like 4 or 5 punches in them, and each punch will give you 15,000 XP. Now, do the math here, and if you completed every single one of these punch cards, you will get 3,300,000 XP just like that easily. So whenever you're playing, be sure to complete all of your punch cards. They are pretty good, but I know some of them are kind of mysteries. It says question marks, like what kind kind of punch card is this, you may ask? You don't know? Well, there's actually a website that goes over what all the punch cards are for the season, so I recommend you pull it up while playing. You can see what it looks like on screen now, and I'll throw a link to it down in the description, so definitely be sure to check it out. And then after all those punch cards, we are still not yet done, because you can also complete weekly challenges. Now, don't get me wrong, completing the weekly challenges are kind of difficult, especially when you're spending a couple, minutes each game searching cabbages. But if you can get 1 or 2 of these in a game, go to Salty Springs or dance on top of Sentinel heads at a graveyard. You could of course do that if you have cabbages so you don't die to the storm. Just completing a couple of those challenges in a game will give you an extra 10, 20, 30,000 XP, and so you definitely don't want to pass up on that XP. Of course, I do make guides on those every single week, so definitely subscribe so you're notified whenever a new guide goes on live, or click the icon up here to watch the playlist of all of them. Anyway guys, as long as you do a couple games of Team Rumble, probably 1 a day, look at the foil skins in no time. Oh yeah, and if I am helping you out and you want to learn how to level up fast in Fortnite, how to win in Fortnite, and how to improve at all sorts of Fortnite things, you should subscribe and help us hit 50,000, because most of you guys aren't subscribed. And then click here for a full breakdown on all the numbers and all the XP and stuff for how to level up incredibly fast in Fortnite. Well, that's all I have for now, and I'll see you all later.